So what's our next project today? We're wondering. Well, given that I'm about to be down my only dual sport bike, today we're going to be wiring in turn signals and brake lights and all that stuff and a horn, and looking for a good place to mount them on this WR400. And I think I might have come up with an ingenious solution for removal of my battery. So far my battery has been, well, not very well secured in here. So I found some old hard drive Molex connectors that I'm going to splice in to make my battery removable. And I'm also going to probably secure it to the seat and get one of those old packing straps I had on the RM125. I have a spare one of those packing straps, so hold that thing nice and steady in place. So yeah, so far the battery's just been residing at the bottom of the air filter. And I mean, yeah, it's a secure location, but I really don't like the idea of a battery knocking around. So you wonder, I watched your other 7 videos on this. Yes, I know I did 7 videos. And you had a Tusca lithium-ion battery. What gives? Well, found out the lithium-ion battery doesn't accept overcharge really well, and I was strapping a grenade under my fiddly bit, so to speak. So, yeah, I got the Trail Tech, was it nickel metal hydride battery, which will take an overcharge and just basically bleed off the extra charge if you aren't using it. And fully charged, this thing will power the lights for probably about 4 hours. Just giving the calculations. So pretty much we're gonna see if I have to glue a... No, this is a great surface for mounting a battery to. On the RM we had a bunch of like indentions and stuff, so I had to fill it full of gasket maker and glue a CD to the bottom of it. I know it looked janky, but the guy who bought it for me is actually still able to use it regularly as a dual sport. So, mission accomplished, right? But yeah, at any rate, we're gonna get into our bag of tricks. I believe this is the correct one. I already had to send back that radiator fan. Didn't quite do the trick. So we've got a horn. You just chill there. We have a dual sport mirror and 2 of these, but I'll worry about that later. A Nissan style brake line, another Nissan style brake line, hydraulic switch doohickey. Oh, where's the other bits? Flush mount turn signals for the rear. And actually there's going to be a product review in all of this too, because I have another piece of equipment in here. Here they are. Some wraparound fork turn signals. I'm intrigued by these. So, we'll put all that to the side. I want to feature these real quick. I'll be doing a review of these. I've already kind of foreseen a bit of issue with how these mount, since I recently had to take apart my forks and rebuild them. But on Amazon, most of them have 3M adhesive and then a zip tie, but if you break the zip tie, it's not replaceable. So I got this particular set, and I'll put a link in the description, that uses like a cam strap system. I think this ought to be a bit stronger than run-of-the-mill zip tie, but we'll see. Now the problem I foresee with this is that we put them onto the fork, and then let's say that we have to take the fork off. Well, then we've blown our 3M adhesive. So I don't know if that's an incredibly good design. I think if this bike never saw any dirt, that'd be a great design. But I think in the interim, while getting this thing street legal. As long as you're on the street, these things should be pretty much fine in perpetuity. If not, I'll just grab some flush mount signals for the number plate or something of that nature. At any rate, that's our project for today. Like the RM, I'm most likely going to drill and attach our turn signals here. And then we'll do the wraparound for the turn signals here on the fork leg. And then where I'm going to attach the horn, well, that's a good question. That is a good question. There are not a lot of good mounting points on this bike. I might end up having to wire it to one of the radiator, or attach it to one of the radiator guards. Or, well, we'll just see. We will just see. That's one thing I liked about the RM125. You had 4 points from the old number plate. You had tons of places to put M8 bolts. Or M6. Yeah, M6 bolts. And that's a bit non sequitur. Anyways. So that's where we're at right now. Honestly, I think this bike will do a decent job of dual sporting, but I would prefer something the magic button. The plan with this bike is, in the interim, now that we're selling the Africa Twin, is I'm going to get a title on this. I'm going to get it street legal and use it as kind of like a short distance commuter or commuter to trailhead. I'll swap these tires out for the Tusk Dual Sport. Yeah, and by the way, this amount of wear that you see on the knobs, this is only after about 100 miles of dirt riding. They're still pretty grippy, but I don't know. I'm kind of excited to try the Tusk Dual Sports out. I love this Tusk Recon hybrid rear wheel. Rear tire, front tire. Call it like a tolerate-hate relationship. So, as of right now, all of the lighting works. I'll get a big old brake light in here. And there's one other thing that concerned me about doing the brakes on this bike. So, looking at where this brake line is, behind this guard, goes right up by the tailpipe. And I can tell you, this bike runs extraordinarily hot. So I'm kind of concerned about what I'm going to do about any potentially melty lines. I'm thinking I might try and run it up the frame here and then up and over and put it in a little bit of conduit with some heat tape over it. That'll probably keep it safe enough, and then pop it in here. The front, that's no problem. That's easy peasy. That's easy peasy, my good time boy. Turn signals, I've pretty much already made space for them, just gotta drill them. And the forks, I'm gonna double check and make sure they're nice and extra clean before I pop those lights on. But this actually isn't gonna be a huge job. I've already wired up 3 of these dual sport kits in my life, and they're a lot easier than the Baja kits. Then we'll work on getting this battery attached to the seat and get the packing strap out of the truck. And then this thing, other than a tire change, should be ready for prime time. So we're going to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to gather what I need, and then we shall get underway. Well, it was a little painful to see the Africa Twin drive off, but I figured the next person who gets it's going to enjoy it just as much as I have. It's a hell of a bike. So, I guess now I need to focus on getting this dual sport WR done up, so I have something to ride on the street. Oh, there's all my scotch, my 3M. So why do I have an addiction to these 3M adhesive strips? Well, for the most part, it's because they're actually really good at locking when wet or muddy. So I set a space on the seat, get everything nice and clean. So I start cleaning first with Windex, and then I go back over it with water so I don't have any alcohol residual on it. So you're like, well, why are you using the 3M if you could just strap the battery on? Well, it makes it easier to hold into place. If you kind of got a spot where it mounts. Alright, so I'm going to be wanting to hit it right there by the MY. Oh, 1 second. Had something underneath my head, my head mount thing here. Oh, that was a little painful. Nature was getting back at me. Come on. So the idea is I'm going to mount 2 of these straps, 2 of these over to the battery as well, to these strips, and you press and lock it in place, and it's a pretty good seal at that point. And then we have a flat Amazon packing strap, which is made out of soft cloth, and you don't even barely feel it. It's a lot less obtrusive even than, oh, what is it? Than the old seat handles that you get on dirt bikes. We're also going to revise the connection method of those Molex connectors I was talking about earlier. So, I'm going to fish the battery out anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut into the splice here, wire in a female connector and a male connector so I can disconnect and connect the battery at will. Okay, which surface? I think this surface would be the better candidate for mount. And it is my experience that the 3M strips are not strong enough to hold up against bounce. There is a mount that you can put in air boxes, but it doesn't exactly fit this bike. And yeah, I could try fabbing something up, but I'll be honest, my fabrication skills aren't strong. There's many talents I possess, and fabrication is not one of them. Alrighty. Come here, strips. Alrighty. Boop, 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 boop. The clean surface. And yeah, I could probably fit 3 strips on here, but this is really just to hold the battery in place long enough for me to lock it in. And then tie it off. Maybe I should learn how to fabricate. Learning how to weld wouldn't be a bad idea either. Oh, whatever. One can't learn how to do every single thing themselves. I'm not an island unto myself. So... yeah, we'll get on that here in a little bit. Alrighty. There's one other thing I noticed about these front switches or front turn signals. The wiring seems to be pretty small. Some dinky wiring. I mean, I can work with it. I'm guessing black is negative. Red's your turn signal, and yellow is the running light. Be quite honest, I'm not entirely sure which is which. We'll just try it out. I've actually had pretty good luck with these flush mount lights. Not to be confused with that part on Borat where he says order 100 flashlights. Totally different. Alrighty. So, I'm thinking right about there is going to look good. Yeah, it shouldn't interfere with anything. The mount system on this is kind of nifty. The reason I actually like these lights is they have a seal where the wire goes in. It actually works fairly well. Now the bullet connector deals on here are not the best, but you know, you take what you can get. Alrighty. I'm gonna apologize that this lighting video is like a 8-part series. I've gotten many people telling me that I need to stop doing hour-long videos. I think I got one message was, for the love of God, stop making us sit through hour-long videos. So I'm splitting them up into 15 to 20 minute increments. I figure that's a bit more digestible for folks. One of the things that drives me crazy when I'm seeing these how-to videos is that there's a lot of cutaways. I mean, like a ton. So I get like 80% of the information I need, and then the last 20% I'm sitting here scratching my head trying to figure out, oh, how did that work? Huh, that's different. I guess I'm gonna need to pause. I think I'm about to have somebody bother me about something.